last on the ground and you in midair, sending the clowns. Isn't a farce? My fault, I fear. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear. But where are the clowns? Quick, send in the clowns. Don't bother, they're here. Isn't it rich? Isn't it queer? Losing my timing this late in my career. But where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns. Well, maybe, just maybe, well, maybe next year.
I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my face? But we've been living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape.
I'm gonna hug him and pet him and love him, and I'm gonna call him Bobby. I'm gonna call him Bobby, yes. Got the Bobby. How's everybody doing this morning? How are the coffee beans this morning? Are we ready to have some fun? It's Friday. Tell me about the Bobies, people. I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you about the Bobies because I really didn't go too much into it in my little Twitter thing. I just kind of was goofing or whatever, right? This is really the quality on this thing is really, really nice. The company that Josh or Bo Black's worked with on this is really, really good quality. It's well stitched. A lot of times when you have things like this, there'll be like little misstitches or little imperfections because of it being such a small little run and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But no, this thing is done very, very well. I don't know. I would highly recommend if there's like other creators out there that are wanting to do little things like this for their fans, for their supporters, and what have you. This company, I don't. Do they have this on here? Yeah, Makeship is the name of the company. Makeship. Um, good quality work. No complaints at all for me. Really, really cool. People plus you win. People plus you win. That's a really good question. Bo Blacks is a whole lot more likable than me, I feel, and a whole lot more entertaining. And he had some hiccups, had little difficulties, and he's big. You know what I'm saying? He's got a lot of fans, a lot of subs and stuff. And he had some difficulties. So it's probably going to be a long time before you'd see anything like that because I kind of discussed it. I think maybe the only way to ensure, because I was personally, when I first bought one, and it looked like it wasn't going to happen, I wasn't going to get it. I was I was a little sad, right? Because I really wanted it. I really thought that, you know, it was a good way to support Bo Blacks and everything. And because I'm kind of a collector. I mean, if you look behind me, right, you can see I collect things. I've got, anyway, some might call it hoarding. You know, I call it collecting. One man's hoarding, one man's collecting, potato, patata, right? But and then when it looked like it wasn't maybe possibly going to happen, I was disappointed. You know, whatever. Um, so I would hate to, you know, try to do something like that, and then the people that really wanted it, you know, if it, you know, didn't go through, you know what I'm saying, it would be disappointing to them, and I would not want to do that to them. So I think the only way for me to, you know, if I was going to do something like that, is you'd have to, I would want to ensure that it happened. So, you know, come up with the money up front, maybe, and buy them, and then try to ship them yourself as people bought them. But man, that's a lot of headache. That's a lot of money up front, because you got to have, like, I think it was like, was it like 250 of them, you know? And they were like 25, $30 a pop. That's some money. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I kind of went around Aunt Laura's house to say it. It's going to be a while. Sorry. Sorry, Squatch. It's probably going to be a while. So anyway, storms came through here last night. Oh my Lord, there was storms. And listen, this little meme here could not be more accurate. I was up way too late last night. I was I watched a lot of different streams last night. I was watching oh, hang on a second. What stream was it I was watching? Do 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 do. Yeah, why so demented? He put in I was watching it, kind of interacted with them a little bit over there. Um, I was watching a lot of stuff last night. I don't know why. I just kind of got on one of these kicks last night and was just out there watching a lot of stuff. Just there's just, like, you know, I say this over and over again, you know, every show, right? There's just so much. Um, there's just so much out there really to discuss, right? So, like, the whole bring coffee, yes, please. I need the coffees. It was like after, see, I'm Central Time, right? I'm Central Standard Time, right? So, like, right now it's 6:30 for me, right? It was like 12:30, 1 o'clock before I went to bed this morning, right? And and then the storms and stuff kept at one point it thundered here and stuff so loud it literally shook my entire house. Well, that woke me up. Hello, thank you very much. And I don't know about you guys, right? But like when something like that happens, holy crap, I can't get back to sleep for a while. It takes me a little bit because it you know kind of gets me rattled or whatever, right? So anyway, but yeah, so bring the coffee, please. I got a hold of the pot in there. So good news is you know, when I drain this cup here, and by the time the end of the show comes up, I got a refill waiting on me, so that's good, right? Let's see here. Yeah, so Matt Pitt, right? He tweets out last night. YouTube took away transcripts, right? Sad emojis. Yeah, I was like, I seen this tweet last night, and I was like, WTF, right? Because transcripts were really good to help us, like, for like really long form you know, like if it's an hour-long podcast or hour-long stream or whatever it is, right, that you're covering. Having that transcript out there was really, you could do keyword searches in there and you could find, you know, particular segments that you're looking for a lot faster, right? If you didn't timestamp it as you were going through, right? So now that means, right, that you're going to have to timestamp and stuff as you go through and stuff. It really is going to, for somebody who, like myself, right, that covers a lot of things and stuff that goes on streams or podcasts or things like that. When covering things, it's going to make our jobs a little bit more tedious. I don't know what you call it. It's gonna make it a little bit more of a pain in the neck. So it's going to be, but whatever. It is what it is, right? Because guess what? right? YouTube didn't poll me. They didn't ask me about that. Lord knows they send me enough freaking, every time I turn around, I get these, I go into my dashboard of my YouTube studio, right? And there's all these they little banner pair. We need you to vote and whatever. And it's God. It's always about, you know, some sort of, anyway, I'm not gonna get into it because it'll get me ranting and raving, and I ain't doing that this morning. Because it's Friday. It's the end of the work week. We should be happy. We should be celebrating. We should be having fun, right? So let's not even go down that rabbit hole. What do you say? All right. So let's just proceed on. Okay, so Kick, right? Kick is the new kid on the block, right? Kick is the new streaming service, right? We've seen these upstarts come along, right? Probably the one that probably would rival this a little bit, that had, you know, any kind of potential whatsoever at all was Mix, right? Yeah, Mix, which was backed by Microsoft, right? So if Microsoft was doing it, yeah, it was, you know, whatever, go up against the mighty Twitch, you know, for game streaming content and stuff, right? I mean, they got some really big streamers over at the time, right? Like they got Ninja, right? Tyler Blevins, and there was a couple of others I want to say, like Mixer. Yeah, thank you, Squatching Mixer. And was it Shroud? Did Shroud go over there? Anyway, doesn't matter. But they got some of the really big streamers, right, for Twitch to come over, and then they had laid out so much money. It's just Microsoft we're talking about, that they could not balance, right, the cost to operate it for the contracts that they'd signed, plus the operational costs, right? Because it costs money. It costs money to offer one of these streaming platforms. You got payroll, you got bandwidth, you've got the hardware, the server space, all that kind of stuff, right? And they wound up rolling it into with Facebook to do Facebook gaming and stuff, right? They kind of did a merger there, right? And so it, you know, and of course, you know, Facebook gaming, boy, that's really kicking it, right? So I don't know. Of course, and Kick, Kick has kind of had a couple little hiccups, I guess you would say. You know, some streamers over there doing some pretty, we'll say, non-PC stuff, right? Politically correct type stuff. So I don't know if Kick's going to make it or not, but evidently they've got a mobile app that they're working on. It's in beta. According to Trainwreck here, it's you know, he gives some screenshots here. Let me finish cleaning my glasses here, and we'll pull it up, and we'll take a look at these screenshots, saying this is kind of how it's going to look. And he just happened to has Aiden Ross, and I think Aiden Ross was anyway. So we'll just let that go with that and say on with it, whatever. So anyway, you know, here's the thing. I'm all about open market, and I'm all about competition. So I honestly hope that Kick does kind of do well. I was hoping Mixer would do well, because I think having a viable competition is good for the market. It's good for the industry, right? When you have only one or two places that you can go to that is offering something, and they have a kind of a monopoly on it, it's bad for, in this case, like the content creators and stuff. It's bad for them, because then the people that are offering the service or whatever, they can really have like some really crappy things that they do, and you don't have any options. You have no recourse to go anywhere else. And I'm not talking about a 50-50 split on, you know, the price of a, you know, someone subbing to your channel, things like that. That's just business. I understand that, right? I think that young lady that we talked about, I think it was yesterday, she just doesn't understand the cost it takes to operate one of those things. There's what I'm talking about is like the restrictions that they put in place as far as things that can be said, even little emojis that can be, you know, they won't allow certain emojis and stuff in chat over on Twitch. It's very restrictive. I'm not talking, people should be able to go out there and just say whatever, slurs and that type of crap, right? Or uh, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just having a normal discourse and having a normal conversation stuff. They limit and restrict words that you can say, right? You cannot disagree. Like if there's another person on the platform, you can't disagree with that person stuff because that's what was it they call that on platform harassment or some crap, and that'll get you yeeted, right? So you can't even do that stuff, right? So that's no bueno, right? That's no bueno. Uh, but I do honestly. I hope that Kick is able to prosper. I hope they do well because, like I said, I'm all about free market competition, 100%. Um, so you remember the Tennessee police officer Maegan Hall, right? She was the one that they had the big scandal that came up where she was having these big sexcapades or whatever you want to call it with fellow officers. Remember that big, like her and I think four or five other officers were terminated over the deal, right? You guys remember all that? Well, she has broken her silence. She says, I did say no, right? So now she's saying, I said no. So let's see what this says a little bit. It says, a Tennessee police officer fired over her sex sprees with a slew of fellow cops, says she felt terrorized, calling out her bosses for the binge. Speaking publicly for the first time, Maegan Hall, 26, told WTVF she tried repeatedly to douse the sexual advances of her sergeant at the Laverne Police Department, but he wouldn't take no for an answer. The on-job affair with Sergeant Lewis Powell had led to sexual encounters with 5 other cops. I know what most people are saying. Hall told the outlet, you could have said no. I get it. But my response to them is I did say no, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. Eventually, I gave in from pressure. Okay. So she says, Hall, who blamed her Randy behavior on a troubled marriage, said she was targeted by the department's all-male second shift and lured into promiscuity. While I was interviewing for the position at the LaVerge Police Department, they described the environment as a family, she told WTVF. However, while I was aspiring to protect my community, the LaVerge Police Department was not protecting me. The sexual escapades cost Hall and 4 other cops, including Police Chief Burl Chip Davis, their jobs. 2 others were suspended over the scandal. Davis was accused of contributing to Hall's sexual harassment. So, I on stories like this, right? I don't think you ever really truly are going to get the truth, right? Because I think this is one of these deals where it's a bunch of rats in a ship that's sinking, and they're all trying to escape and come out looking, but the only one that's really talking or saying anything right now, from what I've seen in the news and things like that, is her, right? So the question then will be this: is she going to keep talking until she says too much, right? Because that's usually what gets people in trouble, right? They keep talking and keep talking and keep talking until they talk themselves right into a corner that they can't get out of, right? So here's the deal. I don't know if she was a victim or not. She said no. So if that is the case, and she really did say all that, and they kept coercion, kept pressuring her, kept pushing whatever, then 100% that's out of line. And I do know that she has filed a lawsuit against the police department, saying, I think it was her civil rights, I believe. It was a civil rights case, I believe, that she has filed against them. I may be mistaken on the actual type of case, but I do know she has filed.
Whatever you say, Boomer.
Oh Lord, that scared me. thanks for the sub there, Duff. Um, yeah, as you can see, I'm a little bit jittery. I've had a little bit of coffee this morning. That kind of startled me a little bit. But anyway, I don't know if we'll ever get to the bottom of it or not. On these things, it's well, it is what it is, right? So, so this next story here, Chris Brown. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know he's a musician. I know he's an entertainer. He's a singer, whatever, right? I don't know much more past that. I don't know if I've even heard one of his songs before, because it's really not my generation, right? Or the I'm more of a 70s and 80s guy, or 60s even, right? So I think he's a little bit new for me. But what's my favorite ice cream flavor? Um, Favorite ice cream flavor. You know, I don't eat a lot of ice cream, right? So did he beat it? He may have had squatching. I don't know. I don't know. It's possible. You, this is one of these. I don't know. And this one here, what happened is, so, um, he brought this lady up here, right? This young lady, on the stage while he's doing this concert, right? Now I can't do the audio, right? Because the whole copyright thing, right? But so there's two segments. There's this clip here, and then there's another clip we're going to watch. So let's see if I do this up. Okay, yeah, it stays muted. Good. But anyway, you can see he's now that's a little bit there, I think, right? I mean, the grabbing of the whatever. Um, I don't anyway. And he's doing his little dance thing, and he's hunching the floor and whatever, and everybody's having a good time, right? I mean, I think it's cool, right? He's doing his thing. Good for you, Chris. Athletic, yeah, okay, whatever. Hey, and so now he's gonna hang on a second, Now, whether they're not up, I want to seem to think there was another musician, artist, that, but it was a woman, right? And she brought a guy up on the stage and kind of did the same type thing, right? Um, so I mean, okay, whatever. So he's dry humping or whatever, giving her a show. So she's on her phone, right? Maybe she's Instagramming live, or who knows? I don't know. But she's on her phone, kind of. Oh, yeet! He just yeeted her phone, just that quick. It's gone. It's over with. Evidently, he was not. Evidently, he was not impressed with her being on her phone. So the phone was yeet out of here. This next clip, it's the same concert, whatever. It's just a little bit different angle. It's a little bit shorter clip. Make sure the audio stays off on this one too. But you can see here, right? He comes in, he looks, he sees her on the phone, he goes, "Yep," and bye bye. That phone is flying to the next stratosphere, y'all. So anyway, yeah, hope she got a new one. Yeah, right. The disrespect, yeah. I This generation, I don't know. I think sometimes people have I think I include myself on this sometimes, because I'm guilty of this. Sometimes we can't be in the moment. We can't enjoy the moment, because that these little things right here, right? These little things right here, they it's like they control us, right? Um, I hope that you guys have some sort of ritual or something, to where, at least once a day, you just put the phone away, right? You mute it, you whatever you got to do, so that you're not getting any alerts, you're not getting dings or whatever. And maybe an hour or two during the day, you just disconnect from it, right? Disconnect from the online world, right? And just be present in the here and the now. And hopefully it's with some friends, right? Having conversations, being present in the moment here and not on the phone. So many times I will see people like they'll be at dinner, or like me and the wife every once in a great while we'll go out to dinner or something, right? And so we'll sit down, right? And a lot of times we'll have our phones with us, so in case it's an emergency or whatever, but we'll take the phones and we'll put them down face down on the table, and we won't look at them. We won't nothing, because we want to enjoy the time together, right? But you'll look around the room and you'll see so many people will be we'll be having conversations, and the whole time that they're on, it's a very distracted conversation, right? Because they're not focused on the person, and they're on their phone and they're doing this or whatever, scrolling whatever. Just remember this, guys. The most precious gift that you can ever give anybody, right, is your time, your unfiltered, focused time on them and what they're saying and being present in the moment, right? Just something to think about, just something, so it's okay to put it away, right? So these YouTubers, Evan and Caitlin, I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but they decided to build like this really huge laptop, right? So they have these different things, like a little tablet here, it's 5 inches, a little 8-inch, smaller thing, like kind of like a little Chromebook or something like that. Then you got your 15, what's it, like a 15-inch, and these models here's what they call like a desktop replacement type model. When you get like plus 15 inches on the monitor size of the laptops, and a lot of times, like you can see here, even has the number pad, right? So it has the full keyboard and stuff. And like so if you have like a business person that travels a lot, or even a lot of companies now are going to this model here, the bigger one, and they don't have desktops, right? They just have the little docking stations. They dock it and they come in, do whatever, so that they have the ability to do their jobs wherever they're at, period, right? I know the job I have and stuff, right? They're kind of going towards that model too, so that people can work no matter where they're at, right? How many inches do I prefer, people? Well, listen, if we're talking about screen size, because I'm old and my eyes are shot, it's got to be like a 27, 28-inch screen. It has to be, for me even to be able to see it. Like I've got a really older monitor over here that is like a 19 or 20-inch monitor that I kind of have over the side, because I got 3 monitors in my setup, and I'm going to replace this one eventually and get like a really bigger monitor, because the text and stuff on it is so small that I have a hard time seeing it sometimes. But anyway, let's check this out, because
we're going to try to make the world's biggest laptop.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, okay, so they did it, right? This is the monitor, right? This is kind of cool. This is kind of cool that they can do it. And you see they're playing games on it and stuff. I bet you this music don't get me claimed. I guarantee it is. Whatever. But you see, they've got a full-size keyboard, and they got a little touchpad over here at the side that they put in. This is kind of cool.
Try to make the world's
It's kind of cool. I'm pretty sure that if you go and look up Evan and Caitlin here, right? Let's go open and get a new tab. Yep, they've got a YouTube channel, and let's go here. Yeah, and no, I don't want to hear that. And you can see they do have a video here. They show how they do it, and you can see in relationship here in that thumbnail how big it is to it. And I don't know, it may be a little bit distorted or whatever, but that's kind of cool. I love it when people take and do the gadgety type things like this. That's kind of cool. So maybe give those guys a check if that's something you want, you're interested in or whatever, because I think that's kind of cool. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see here. We close some of these things out here. All right, so this next one, this video here is kind of wild. I'll be honest with you. This one, I watched this. Anyway, let's just watch it here. This is kind of like a halftime show. Basketball game here. Whoever just did the flop and scared that woman to death. That's so funny. Could you imagine not being focused on, whatever, because you're watching this big thing that's going beside you, hop along, and all of a sudden you hear this splat in front of you? Oh, that would be hilarious, right? That's nightmarish. Yeah, it's, oh, golly. Oh, man. Uh, let's see what we got here. Yeah, this one, I thought this one was kind of cute too. Uh, just imagine you're driving down the road and all of a sudden you see this coming up here in your rear view mirror. Watch, focus on the rear view mirror, guys.
Lose feelings, but instead.
I got muted because it's got music, but imagine you got a horse, 2 horses, a goat, and a little mini horse. And they're just running down the highway like it ain't nobody's business. Like, born free, right? Born free. So, anyway, cool. So that's like all the clips and things like that, news stories like that I got to talk about. So we're gonna have a little conversation here. Some changes that are coming up here in the future. So, I touched about this, I think briefly, whatever, but I wanted to go into a little bit more, detail. Oh, thanks. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Purple Paw Prints thinks she's funny, right? Look what she just sent me. I think she's trying to say something. Purple, are you saying that's me? Is this a ha funny? Ha, yeah, peepaw old and blind. But that's the fact of the matter is it's true. It's true, y'all. That's an accurate representation of me. Anyway, so Clear as Mud podcast. We've got a little bit of a change coming up over there. Banana has had some IRL stuff pop up, and he is going to have to step down for a little while. So anyway, the show's going to continue. I'm going to continue doing the show. So the model going forward is going to be one of two things. Or one or two things are what you will get over there on those shows. I'm going to either have a guest host in the seat with me, and whatever you want to call it, or I'm going to pilot that ship by myself, depending if I can't find somebody to sit in the seat that next week or that week or whatever, right? So the good news is I've got a person lined up for this weekend, and I've got a person lined up, next weekend, right? And so I've got the next 2 weeks covered, which is good. It takes a little bit of pressure off of me, right? But here's what I would like from you guys, because I know a lot of you guys that are here with me every morning also come and either will catch the podcast live, or you'll come and watch the the videos afterwards or whatever. And the same thing here. Like, I know a lot of people come in after the fact and watch the VOD because they can't catch it live because of time zones or whatever it is. And I get all that, right? But here's what I would like in the comments below in the video, right? So like after this is ended or whatever, in the comments of this video, or even like on Twitter, tweet at me, whatever, people that you would like, listen, and don't say PewDiePie or, somebody like that, that's just not realistic, right? I mean, let's be realistic. People that you would like to see me try to reach out to maybe come in and guest co-host one week, one show or whatever, right? Um, are Friday afternoon shows still a thing, or are they on hold? Um, well, there's obviously not going to be one this evening, right? Because this all just happened and I didn't have enough time to whatever, right? So, but what I'm thinking about doing is I don't know whether or not if I will do a Friday afternoon show with that, or what I may start doing, honestly, is since we don't do a show on Dave's channel on Wednesday nights, I'm toying with the idea. I haven't exactly got all the logistics in my mind worked out on how to do this. I've thought about either doing a Wednesday night show on that channel, or doing a Wednesday night show here, right? And maybe start, still do my Wednesday morning thing, right? Because this is the coffee time, right? This will never change here, right? Unless it gets to where I can't do it. And that day's coming. I'm going to be honest with you. The day's going to be coming. It's going to probably be over a year away, but there is a day coming, where I'm going to have to start going back into the office to work, right? Because they're going to get the construction and everything done in the building where I worked, because of what happened there, and I was sent home to work from home. When they get all that stuff squared away, I will be going back to work. When that happens, guys, the coffee with Peepaw of a morning, that is going to come to an end. That doesn't mean that this channel is going to come to an end. Doesn't mean this is going to come to an end. What that means is that I probably will start doing a nightly show, right? So instead of coffee of a morning, we'll have maybe, I don't know, coffee of the evening, right? Because for me to be able to continue doing that show, because I'd have to leave out of here. I have to leave my house, like, to deal with time zones that you guys are familiar with. So like 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have to leave this house. So for me to be able to do my show and everything, you're talking about I'd have to start the show probably at like 5:30 or so Eastern Standard Time in the morning, right? Which is 4:30 my time in the morning. And I be honest with you guys, which means I would have to get up like at 3:45 in the morning. And I'll be honest with you, I just don't think I could do that. I don't think my body would allow me to do that kind of a schedule and then go in and work all day. And I just don't think that's something. What I think is more doable is, come in and I would have an evening stream probably around, it probably would start around like 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? And we'd go from like 9 p.m. to say like 10 to 11, hour and a half, 2 hour stream of evening. So how about dessert with people? Yeah, I don't know. We'll come up with something. But that's what's eventually is going to happen, And the sad thing about that too, when this happens, right, I'm not going to be able to produce for Dave anymore either. And that's bumming me out, right? But like I said, we've got at least another year. We've got like a full year before that's probably going to happen, right? So we still got a year that we're going to do this every morning, right? So we're going to be able to keep our routines, but there is a window, and that, it's going to happen. So, but I say all that, we kind of went down a rabbit hole there a little, but so Wednesday nights, like I was saying, Wednesday nights, I don't know, either, like I say, do something on the Clear as Mud, or do something over here, but it'd be like a night show. That's what I'm thinking, since we're not doing shows on Wednesdays, because Dave's taking that night off, and we might start doing something. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what is the answer, because of an evening, that time slot can get really congested, right? There's a lot of people that stream, like Xylee streams of an evening. Tipster will stream of an evening. Augie will stream of an evening, right? And our audiences overlap some, right? And I would never, ever, ever want to draw away from Xylee or Tipster or Augie or any of those guys, right? And I wouldn't want to take any, and so it's just a matter of trying to find a slot where it's not being, where people aren't doing it or streaming, and finding a time or whatever where I can kind of fit in, or find a space to kind of, because that's why this morning is so great, because nobody is streaming this time of the day, right? And I think that's really reason why this is really taking off, because this was wide open, fertile ground that no one was doing. And so anyway, some they are incestuous, according to Tommy. Yeah, Zolly, right. It could get to be a traffic jam. And here's the thing. I have way too much respect for like Zolly and those guys to come in and do that, right? And I won't go up against them. I think it's a respect thing, and I just won't do that. So, but you know what? We will cross that bridge when we get there. I just want you guys to be aware that there is going to be a time when there are going to be some changes forced upon us. No, Johnny. Listen. We'll figure it out, guys. The bottom line is we'll figure it out. And it's not anything really to worry about right now, right? It's not. But back to the original thing, because God, I'm going rabbit holes. This is what happens when I do these things. I do want you guys to reach out to me and present some ideas of who you would like for me to co-host with, right? Now, I'm not going to tell you who Sunday's guest is going to be, nor am I going to tell you who the Sunday after that is going to be, right? Because I want to see who you guys think would be a good, person to stream with, right? Because I'm interested in what you guys, who you think would be. And here's something. Typically, I don't necessarily want somebody that I will just like 100% agree with, because I love having people on that have a difference of opinion, right? I want them to be respectful. I'll be respectful to them. They be respectful to me, and we can have some discourse. We don't have to agree. We don't have to agree on everything. I don't have to have them, and they don't need to have me agree with it. I mean, so we can present, because I think in every situation, most times there's two sides, right? And I think by presenting both sides, I think you kind of can find a common ground in the middle somewhere where you say, yeah, this is kind of what, but then there's going to be times too where you're like, oh yeah, it's easy. It's a no-brainer, right? You just kind of agree on everything or whatever. So anyway, I think, hey, Jaden with a Y, I think Beavers would break Peepaw. No. I like Beavers. Beavers and I, we've had some conversations, and Beavers could very well be but then again, here's the thing too, you have to keep in mind, Beavers lives in a whole nother time zone. And then of course they have that whole thing where they're doing the conserving of electricity, where they have the rolling brownouts and stuff. So it might not even be conducive for his schedule, because there's been a time or two where I know he's been watching whatever, like having him watch it on his mobile, because he's having to go without power right then because it's during that the brownout cycle for where he lives. So that may not necessarily be a deal. Bo Blacks, possibly. Xylee, sure. Mitch, yeah. Matt, sure. All those guys are good ideas. Just put them in the when the VOD comes up, you put the little comments or whatever, and I check all these. I read the comments, dude. So and I try to interact with all of them. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much everything, right? Friday. Okay, so we got Bo Blacks Friday tonight with Dave. Dead on Dave. We'll have the Blacks Friday. Not for sure what we'll be talking about yet. That is for 8 p.m., I believe. Maybe shift it to 7. There, Dave did talk about maybe trying to move the shows to 7 p.m. of evening. I'll have to touch base with him and make sure and see if that's what he really decided he wanted to do. But as always, watch his Twitter, watch my Twitter, watch Bo Blacks' Twitter, whatever, for Fridays. And we'll get the date and a link to the stream and everything out there as soon as we can. It's usually early to mid-afternoon, before everything is kind of finalized and gelled up and whatever, as far as what we're going to do, as far as topics and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, we got Blacks Friday. There's a lot of content and stuff that's being created. Matter of fact, I got a alert this morning. I think D-Max actually put out a video on his YouTube channel today. So make sure you check that out, right? Because I stand D-Max. I'm one of his most ardent supporters and championing, because I think he's such a talented dude. So make sure you're checking him out. Who else? I seen where Nerdy was starting to make content a little bit. I think maybe his schedule has kind of aligned out to where he can start making content again or whatever. So make sure that you're watching, checking out Nerdy John. I think he's doing some streams of a morning as well. Fribbles. I shouted that out. Went the new episode or whatever, released on the 1st. You got to finally watch that yesterday. That was really good. It had Liana, had Matt Pitt, and it had Doug on it. It did not go how I thought it would as far as the winner. So make sure you check that out, because it was entertaining. I found it very, very, very entertaining. I think Toxic's ideal there. I think the way he does it, I think is real good. I think it's fun. It's it's a what do you call it, Jeopardy type clone, but it's really good. I think it's good. There's anyway, I enjoy it. I think Now Recording has got a big video. I'm not for sure exactly when it's dropping, but I know that it's going to be here within the next little bit. So make sure you are subscribed to Now Recording and that you've got the little bell notifications on, so that when they do go live or they're posting things like that, you get notified. Same thing with all the creators, right? Anymore, guys, and I'm being sincere here. I know a lot of people say this, right? And just like the little thing there, right? Subscribing is good, but if you don't put that little notification on like that right there, right? The problem is that it won't tell you, or you won't necessarily see it, that a person has put up content, or like when your creators have put up content, and especially if they're streamers, you won't be notified if they go live. unless you actually have the little bell notification thing on there, right? Subscribe to them. All that means is like if you go, like for example, let me just show you guys. And I'm sure you guys know this, and I'm probably preaching to the crowd here or whatever, right? But so like if you go to YouTube, right, if you're subscribed to them, you may or may not have something in your feed of things, but then they have stuff they just randomly throw up there too, right? Yeah, see, like D-Max put up a little thing there this morning. Not for sure exactly what that is, but I haven't watched it yet, so go check that out. But if you're subscribed, right, and you hit your subscription feed here, right, then this is all the people that has got things out there, right? But if you actually subscribe to them and you've got and you put on the bell, right, then you'll get the little notifications up here. And if you've got, like the YouTube app, whatever, on your mobile device, then it will send you, if you've got it set up, on, of course, for allow notifications, whatever, it'll let you know there on your phone. So you can say, now recording is live and streaming or whatever. They put a vote in, so, or Peepaw's live, and go and check it out, right? So anyway, so listen, guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up for the day. And normally when I'm wrapping it up, whatever, I have my little spiel I say about keep your powder dry. I'll see you in the funny papers, whatever, right? I'm gonna do things a little bit different today. And I'm just going to leave you with this thought.
Here's the new narrative. And you're going to see more and more people follow this because who else knows, right? Peepaw is going to do it. What's going on with that?
I just can't believe we're still talking about these degenerates. I mean, Salvo pancakes? Didn't that guy drink piss?
Oh, there you go again, Donald, acting as the moral arbiter of the community. I'll give you that Salvo and Edwin are bad guys, but Babs is literally a queen.
That dumb clout-chasing hoe was getting any content cock she could get her hands on. Why are you simping so hard?
I'm not simping. She's a victim. You're acting like Slug in an AD-30 Twitter space right now.
Look, all I'm saying is we don't actually know what happened after Salvo pulled his PP out in that 3-hour car ride.
We don't need to know. That's up to Babs to share or not.
So you're really pushing the Babs as a victim thing?
She was a victim of abuse or harassment. Yes.
Holy shit. I can't believe you're jumping to rape. All that's confirmed is rubbing her feet.
I'm not jumping to rape.
I know you'd like that Sleepy Joe.
I never said rape.
With your leg hairs.
Holy shit, that's so out of pocket. And I'm just saying, on the highway, it's not like Babs could run away. She was covering her face with her shirt for a reason.
Maybe because she was hungover from the night before and had the sun in her eyes.
What? Wait, what does that change?
Yeah, you didn't think of that, did you? And since we're talking about the night before, remember how that was all consensual?
Yeah.
Has Babs ever said it was sexual assault or harassment?
No, but I'm just kind of saying what Nicholas DiOrio's saying.
Yeah, because that's all you do is repeat talking points, Sleepy Joe.
Shut up, Trump. I just mean that plenty of people who are very familiar with the matter have called it harassment, and there's nothing out there saying otherwise. Edwin and Salvo act like the exonerating information is out there, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, that's because Edwin doesn't want to be seen as a pimp and a cuck. And Salvo is worried his wife will find out he cheated on her. Apparently her family has money. I can imagine it'd be nice maintaining aid from family connections. Right, Hunter? Oops. I mean Joe.
This is why I use the slug analogy. You literally just doxed my own son. Donald, go touch some fucking grass.
Boo-hoo. It's not illegal, but your deals with Ukraine
Come on, man, just shut up. I don't even understand what you were getting at before with Salvo's wife.
Infidelity clause. Look it up, Sleepy Joe. You're out here with all these bad takes.
Come on, man,
and I'm
just shut
rating
up.
W's.
You think I have bad takes? You're literally on the side of the piss drinker and the Me Too guy that Me Too's girls.
The situation for what it is. As usual, everyone involved is a piece of shit. That doesn't mean Salvo or Edwin are predators. We don't know that.
Babs doesn't have to speak on anything.
Stop simping, Joe. That clout hoe is
She's not a clout whore. Nobody even knew she had an OnlyFans until Keem shouted it out. And she's been consistent.
Babs is consistent. She goes on shows, and rather than explaining the whole story, she just makes things worse by being vague.
She's a victim of abuse and not a content creator.
Oh my God, cry me a river. I heard on some live stream that Babs was trying to get on every content cock available.
Holy shit, Donald Source.
I can't provide it. The stream is privated, but I know what I heard.
So you don't even have proof of this?
That's fine. Take me to court. It'll come out in acquisition. I know I heard it.
Even if you're right, it's still not okay to coerce a girl into sex.
Holy shit, great, he's back.
Yeah.
I wish I'd made that damn wall so I could stop from getting oatmeal brain, as Peepaw Riverter describes.
Oh, hey, Barack, pay no attention to the Spurg drama. What's up?
Hey guys, I just got back from my P.O. box, and my Bo Black's plushie just came in.
I just got my Bo Black's plushie the other day. It's really cute.
Oh yeah, I bought like 5 Bo Blacks plushies after Ethan pulled that shit. Hashtag good guy Keemstar.